Hi, my name's William Schaeffer, and today I would like to talk about how to play the piano. Now, obviously, that's too big a subject for a 5 or 10 minute talk. But I do want to talk about a few things in regards to playing the piano. I've been playing for almost 50 years now, so I think I have some perspective. I'm pretty much a self-taught pianist, and I play blues and jazz standards, and that is the context in what I'm talking. So, if you want to be a piano player playing jazz or blues or standards, my suggestion is to not play printed sheet music. Unless you want to be a concert pianist that accurately renders the ideas of the composer, you do not want to play sheet music. And here's why. You need to develop each of your hands independently, and you really need to get a brain for each hand. And if you're playing sheet music, both hands are controlled by the same brain, and they're working together following the sheet music. And you need to break their association so you can think about your hands independently. Now, I learned to do this inadvertently. I'm pretty much self-taught, and my father taught me the rudiments of playing fake music or fake charts. And to this, I am indebted to him. I don't have the style or the panache that my father had, but I can bumble through charts and I can play songs out of the real book so people recognize them. Now, here's why I say don't play sheet music. Play by ear, play from fake books, jam with your friends, but when you're playing piano, try and avoid literal reading of sheet music. Although if you enjoy doing that, go for it. The most important thing is just to have fun. So do whatever you feel like. This is a different idea. And here's the idea. You can process 3 times more auditory information than you can generate. Humans can process 3 times more auditory information than they can produce. You can listen to and understand tape recordings of lectures that are sped up 3 times. And the words are discernible and understandable. But there is no way you could talk that fast and have anyone understand what you were saying. Similarly, we can process 3 times as much music information than it is possible for one human to manufacture. This is why we have groups of musicians. This is why the power trio or the jazz trio is kind of the fundamental unit, and the quartet just adds a little variety. We can process 3 times as much auditory information as we can generate. It takes 3 people working together to produce enough musical information that is satisfying and fulfilling and is complete enough that it keeps us fully engaged. It is nearly impossible for a single solitary musician to produce enough music information that is interesting and engaging. The nearest equivalent we have is the folk singer with the guitar, who's strumming and singing, or the piano player who's playing and singing. But there's not too many other types of instruments that are satisfying to listen to by themselves. And even a solo piano gets tiring after a while. I myself don't really enjoy listening to piano, and I prefer listening to groups of musicians playing in a band. Therefore, if you're playing piano by yourself, you need to make these 2 hands work independently so you can simulate two musicians. And that's why they have rhythm boxes and all those tape accompaniments and all those things, because you really need more music information, more sound. And as a piano player, a solo piano player, you're going to be best suited to augmenting an event that's already there. That's the third thing. The party, the award ceremony, the event, whatever it is. So the more you can get these two hands working independently, the more it simulates having two musicians playing the piano. And the more it makes the music more interesting than just a point source of music. And a good way to do that is jamming with yourself on the piano. It took me about 5 to 10 years for each of the left hand patterns for me to learn it well enough in a rudimentary way that I could keep that rhythm going in any chord structure and then just improvise on top. And my skills are really only modest if you sample all the output of all the talented piano players. But that is a good idea for the beginning piano student to get to a point where you're really playing music. You're not playing the piano, you're playing music, that people hear the music and it makes them feel. The reason you play piano is to make people feel something. It has nothing to do with you or the performance or the composer or even the song. It's all about making people feel something. Now, lastly, piano is really touch. And when you touch the piano, you're touching all the people in the room. Brain scan studies show that babies respond to the mother's voice in the same way the baby responds to being touched. And the reason we like music is because we like being touched. And in our society, no one touches anyone. And we're all starved for affection and for touching. So when you're playing piano for a room full of people, what you're really doing is patting them all on the back. And you're, telling them a joke or making them feel good or punching them in the shoulder or shaking their hands or giving them a hug. Because at the most fundamental level, that's what music is. And it doesn't come off the printed page. It doesn't come out of a script. No matter how real a play actor is, when he's in a real life situation, he's still reading lines. And music is alive. Relationships are alive. And the dialogue that's true is alive and in the moment. Even though parts of it are scripted, like happy birthday, how are you, what's your phone number, nice to see you, drive safe, all these little catchphrases we say again. So, to recoup, my ideas for you for learning to play piano, and this is a very disorganized talk, my ideas for you. 1, don't play sheet music. 2, you can hear and discern 3 times as much information as you can produce. 3, work at playing with your hands separate and develop a separate brain for each hand. 4, music is not about the composition, the performance, or about you. It's about the people and making people feel. And the only reason we listen to music is so that we feel something. And lastly, music is really touching people. And people are starved for touch. And we listen to music so that we can be touched in the way that we want. And as a musician, when you're touching the keyboard, you're really touching all the people in the room. And that's why you can't make mistakes. Because if you bumble a little bit, they all feel it as touch. So you have to be really smooth. Or, a little bit rough when it's appropriate. Okay, those are my ideas on playing the piano. Stop playing sheet music. Start having fun. Thank you, and leave your comments below.